All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let's see. IG. Afternoon, everybody out there. How you guys doing on this very lovely Thursday afternoon? All right. We got the days right. So how you guys doing over here? IG. Happy Thursday. Thank you guys for jumping on. I'll mention. All right, thank you guys for jumping on, guys. I'm so excited for everybody to jump on here today. We have a very exciting conversation. Hi, Andy. Hello, my lovely auntie. I just love it when you jump in here. How are you doing? All right, guys. So we are on today to discuss a very important matter. I know a lot of times we have all these various conversations, and so today we're going to discuss a very important matter. And this is gonna, this affects everybody, of course. We're gonna be talking about taxes. Hi, Laverne. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you too. This week is just really flying by, guys. I mean, so we gotta just tune in and make sure that we pay attention to everything that's going on. These days are flying, and right now the reason why we're having this conversation is because time is really going by pretty fast, and we are here at the tax extension deadline, and that's what we're going to talk about today, guys. Hit like and share on this video. So all your friends and family and everyone on your, on your Facebook page and in your family can see what's going on. Very importantly, guys, we're going to talk about the tax extension deadline. This is a very, very, very serious matter because a lot of people don't understand that after you get the first extension for your taxes, 6 months, there is no other extension. Anything after this extension deadline is late. You're late. So, and there's no getting out of it, okay? So this is very important, guys. I want you guys to make notes and write down the stuff that we're going to talk about today. And if you have any questions regarding this matter, feel free to make sure that you mention it in the comments so that we can get those answered right away. If not, I'll come back through here and answer those questions. I have a lot of clients who are still calling in, want to know when the tax deadline expires. And I know that we have 6 months from the date, the April extension, the April deadline, which was extended to May. And then there was 6 months from the April deadline. It's not 6 months from May, it was 6 months from April, guys. So 10-15. No confusion about this. It's not 6 months from the May 15 deadline. It's 6 months from the April 15 deadline. So October is when you must file your taxes if you got an extension. All right. And so I want everybody to tune into this because I have clients and people who are going to be owing taxes. Most of the time, the people who are filing late because they got to put stuff together to minimize their taxes. And if they miss this deadline, it's going to cost a whole lot of penalty, which of course we're trying to avoid, right? So I want to talk about the things that you're going to need to get these taxes filed, to get them filed on time. And it's best to get all your stuff as possible in to get your taxes processed. If you're missing any items, we'll get to that. If you're missing any items, we can always go back and make an amended return. But the fact that you get your taxes in on time is super important. So we're going to talk about the things you need to pull together to make that happen. Get as many things as you can initially, and then we can go back and make changes if we need to. Okay. So hi, Inez. Thank you for jumping in there. Good afternoon to you. All right, guys. So let's just jump in here. We're going to talk about the things that you're going to need. There's 4 items we're going to cover today. So we can get through this pretty fast, make some notes. 4 things that we're going to talk about is what you need to get your taxes done by the October 15th deadline. And this is personal taxes. And for the people who have a corporation, who have a C corporation, this is also the deadline for those people to get those corporation taxes filed as well. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. The first item that I want to discuss very importantly is your personal information. And I know this sounds like, okay, my personal information, what is that? Most people miss this boat right here by a long shot, because one of the major item in this personal information stuff is address change. So many people who may have moved over the last year. So many people may have bought a new home over the last year. So many people who have changed address over the last year. So many people who forget to let you know that they have moved. Very important. And they're missing a lot of letters and stuff from the IRS. They're missing certain things. They may even be missing a check that's mailed to them. So very important personal information we'll talk about today. Your address. Make sure that your address is up to date and correct on your information that you're going to send in to get your taxes done. All right, so these are some of the things you need. Make sure your filing status, make sure you know whether or not the year before your filing status may have changed. You may have been single, then maybe now you're married, or maybe married and now you're single. Maybe have a dependent, you're head of household. Filing status, very important, okay? So that changes from year to year, sometimes for a lot of people. Filing status, make sure your address is correct. Make sure your dependent information is given to your tax preparer, because sometimes you may have a dependent and sometimes you don't have a dependent. You have a new dependent 1 year, and then maybe you have a child that's out of college. They're filing for themselves. You don't no longer have a dependent. So dependent information, very important. What's important to your bank information? We need to have that. Whether or not you're going to get a refund, bank information is great. As we all see, when the government was giving out the stimulus checks, people with bank information got their money right away. Others had to wait. Some people still haven't gotten those monies. So whether you're getting a refund or not, your bank information is great to make sure that the routing and account number is on your taxes. So if there's a stimulus check, you can always get that deposited and or a refund. This year, we need stimulus information, guys. Anyone who have gotten this stimulus check last year, which was the $1,200 and the $600, the first and second stimulus, that information has to be on your tax return for 2020 in order for it to be filed. So stimulus information, whatever that amount is going to be necessary. So make sure you get that in. Also, your for those people who get those identity protection PIN. Now, some of you guys know what this is. Is that PIN number that is given to you if, in fact, your Social Security number was compromised. The IRS have issued you an identity protection PIN, and that would come in the form of a letter. Sometimes, you may have seen that and maybe not pay attention to it. But if you got a letter that says your identity protection PIN, the tax person has to have that PIN number, okay? Or you will not be able to electronically file your tax return. So those are some of the personal stuff that you are going to need for sure. Again, make sure that you have dependent information, Social Security number, date of birth, you're gonna need that. And if you're married, you're gonna need the spouse Social Security number and also date of birth, right? So those are the personal part of what we would need for sure to even get the taxes going. Got to have that information in, and any of that stuff that's subject to change from 1 year to the next. Don't assume because you filed those taxes last year that information is in the system wherever you get your taxes filed. Yes, it is in there, but make sure that you update that information to make sure that it is all current, right? So number 1 point, personal information, guys. Let's move on to the second point right here. This is great. Get a pen and paper and make some notes of this, right? This is great. The income source. We're talking about that number 2 point today, income, right? We need income. You would not believe how many people after all the years of filing taxes, they're still calling and asking, what do I need to get my taxes filed, right? What do I need to get my taxes filed? I get this question every single day. All right, so income source. We want to talk about the income that you get, right? Forms, W-2 forms. For those of you who have a job, you get a W-2. Several jobs, you have several W-2s. Make sure you get all of your W-2 forms, which will tell you how much money that you have made, the taxes that was deducted. Got to have all your W-2s, guys. Anyone that got unemployment. Again, last year, COVID year, the pandemic year, A lot of people was unemployed, and a lot of people have gotten unemployment. And so many people came to do their taxes this year, and they forgot about the unemployment. I've had to ask folks, did you get unemployment last year? So the unemployment form, 1099-G, you guys make sure you get on the website and print that form down. If you haven't gotten it in the mail, you got to have your unemployment form. It tells you how much unemployment you received. Any 1099 miscellaneous form, if you were independent, you work for anyone that paid you money, they may have issued you a 1099 form showing how much money you got from them independently. All your 1099 forms. If you're on retirement, people who are retirement, who is getting a pension, there's a form 1099-R that you get. We need that form as well. If you're on Social Security, guys, most people always forget this one. They always forget the Social Security because they don't think that they should pay taxes on the Social Security. But if you are on Social Security and you have other income, you have to pay taxes, and you're filing taxes, you need the Social Security form so we can see how much money you get for your Social Security, because it may or may not be taxable income, right? All this stuff is to avoid you getting a letter later on from the government stating that you either owe them some taxes or you haven't filed your taxes. Very important, okay? And then any type of 1099 interest, you have money in a savings account somewhere, you get interest on it. 1099 interest, 1099 dividends. If you have investments anywhere, there's forms that sent out showing how much money that you have made on that investment. Got to have all those 1099. And people who are in virtual currency, any information on that that's taxable, we need to have that as well. And if you are a partner in any partnership, LLCs, any type of investment partnership, there's a K-1 form that shows income and losses from that business, from that partnership, that you need to put on your personal tax return. So the K-1s, you need to look for those as well. So get all the income information. Now, let me explain to you. You can forget a deduction and not claim it on your taxes. But income, you do not want to forget. Just keep in mind that the government get a list of all of the income that you have gotten, right? All these things that we talked about just now, the government has a transcript of all that information. So you don't want to forget any income item. No W-2s, no 1099 miscellaneous, no interest form, no K-1s. You do not want to forget any of this stuff, because you will get a letter stating that you have understated your income, and they will make an adjustment to your taxes, and sometimes, in some cases, potentially send you an additional tax bill. Okay, so make sure that you have this right. Guys, keep track of this stuff. So that's the income information we want to talk about there. That's it for income. There's more stuff. And then, like I tell all my clients, when in doubt, just send everything. All right. So that's the second point today, guys. Let's move on to the third point. This one is really great. I want to thank all the people who jumped in over here on IG. How you guys doing over here? All right. Welcome, welcome. So let's jump into the third thing, expenses. Expenses, of course, we don't want to just report income, right? We want to offset it with expenses so we don't have to pay a lot of taxes. Expenses, if you have a business, we want to make sure that you have the business income and a summary of your business expenses. Guys, those of you who got those 1099 miscellaneous form, you're self-employed, but you don't want to pay taxes on the $5,000 or whatever it is that you made on the 1099, you have business-related expenses. So what you need to do is summarize those expenses, your auto expenses, your phone, your supplies, advertising, all the stuff that you spend money on to make this money. You want to summarize that stuff and give us a list of your expenses so we can offset that business income and save you taxes, right? So income and expenses we want from your business. If you have a rental property, guys, we would need the rental income and any expenses on the rental property, any kind of repairs, maintenance, all that stuff you need to be able to write off. Okay, so we need that information so we can put it on the tax return, reduce your taxable income. All this is to save you money, right? Also, too, if it's a rental property, any improvements that you did on the property, we need to know what that is so we can, of course, again, make sure that you get your rightful deductions to offset that stuff. Okay, so those are the expenses we're looking for to make sure that you offset income, reduce your taxes. And if you miss any of this, of course, you're subject to pay more taxes than you really need to pay. So we want to make sure that doesn't happen, right? That doesn't happen. All right, guys. So let's move right on into the fourth thing here today in terms of what you need to get your taxes filed. And this is really important. Write this down to get a check mark. Share this video. Deductions. For those of you who aren't able to do these deductions, right? If you own a home, guys, we need a mortgage interest statement, which we need the property taxes that you paid. So that you can write off the real estate taxes. You're gonna need, if any of you did the energy saving stuff, like all that solar stuff, if you did that on the property, there's a credit that you can get for that, which is great credit. I know some of you guys may have already used it. So if you did any kind of energy saving stuff, we need that information as well. Charitable donation, cash or non-cash. Now, for some people who do not itemize or take deductions, you can still write off up to $300 of charitable donation without itemizing. So if you gave $300 plus in cash, we still need that. You don't have to be itemizing for that. The government allows for a $300 deduction for those of you who don't itemize, right? So the charitable donation, cash, non-cash charitable donation, if you gave clothing and food and any of that stuff, some people donate cars to charity. We need that information as well. And then when it comes to medical, your health insurance expenses, any type of doctors, prescriptions, dental expenses, all that stuff we need as a deduction to write off, guys. Make sure that you get a list of that stuff. Just itemize this stuff, go through your receipts, go through your bank statements, and you can just add this up or summarize it on a spreadsheet or however is easiest for you, but make sure that you know what those numbers are. All these deductions, once again, is to allow you to take the necessary write-off so you pay less taxes. And if you pay more taxes in, so you can get a larger refund. That's what we want to do here, okay? Again, for deductions, child care expenses, those of you who have kids that are under 13 that you're paying child care for, the child care expense deduction, you got to have the child care provider name, their social security number or their EIN number in order for this deduction to take place. So if you have childcare expenses, make sure that you get that information in, and so that you can at least get most of your money back if you put anything in, and if you owe, you pay a whole lot less. All right. So, guys, this is there's a long list of stuff that is relevant to your tax returns, but these are some of the most standard stuff that you're gonna need right off the top. I know I'll run through this really fast. We're gonna have a list of this posted, I believe. It's going to be either on PROBY'S tax website or we'll have it at thelandsdesk.com. So you guys can go there and download this list and find out what exactly that you need. But again, I'm going to recap. So some of the standard stuff that you guys can remember, make a note of and get it in. You have only until October 15th to get these taxes filed. And so you want to make sure that you don't miss this deadline because, of course, that's it. There's no other extension. I still get questions about, can we file another extension? I've gotten calls, can we file another extension? No, we can't file another extension. So it's best to get the taxes in, make adjustment later if you need to, all right? If you need to. All right, so I want to thank all these people over here in IG. Okay, thanks for jumping in here. So let's recap what we're doing today. What you need to get your taxes filed by October 15th, which is the extension deadline. Number one thing is your personal information. First and foremost, I want to make sure that, you guys have your personal data correctly. Your filing status is very important. It's probably changed from last year. You may no longer be single, married, or head of household. You may no longer have that dependent or whoever qualifies you for head of household. Make sure the tax person knows exactly what your filing status is. Any additional dependents, make sure that's there. Dependent information, spouse information. And more than all of this year, this is brand new. You have to make sure that the stimulus information. And I want to add something to that stimulus stuff, because if you did not receive stimulus number 1 or stimulus number 2, simply because maybe you didn't have your 2019 taxes filed and you never got that money, on your 2020 taxes, guys, you will be able to get the stimulus 1 and stimulus 2. You'll be able to claim it on the 20 tax return. So it's important for you to let us know whether you got the stimulus 1 and stimulus 2, which is the $1,200 per person and the $600 check, because we can't, one, e-file it without that information, and two, if you never got it, you have a chance to get it on your 2020. That's the only other way to get it, is to claim it on your 2020 tax return. That's the only way to get stimulus 1 and stimulus 2. Okay. All right. So with the personal information, that's what that is, address verification and all that stuff. Make sure that people have this all the time. Bank information. They always call after the fact, want to change the bank, and they always call saying that they want to change their address. So those are very important. All right. So that's number 1. Number 2, all your income source. Anything that looks like a W-2, a 1099, K-1, anything that has money on it that you have made, all of your investment, interest, dividends, all that stuff, all income information. You don't want to miss this. The government know what you made, so you need to make sure that all this is on your taxes. So we want to make sure that they don't find out later and then send us a letter. Okay. Expenses. If you have a business, your business income and expenses, got to have it. If you have a rental property or rental properties, guys, income and expenses on the rental properties, so that you can offset your rental income with those expenses. Want to make sure that you have that in. And then, of course, the 4th thing here is deductions. Number 4, deductions for your taxes. Anyone that owns a home, real estate taxes, your mortgage interest statement, we got to have those. And charitable donation, health insurance, medical deductions, all that good stuff we need to have. And one more thing on deductions, guys, I really want to say this, because even though the federal government has just no longer uses the miscellaneous deductions, which is the employee business, like if you have mileage and things like that, but the state of California still do. So if you do have those deductions from job-related expenses that are not reimbursed, you want to also list those things like, your uniforms and any job-related expenses that's not reimbursed. We can still take them because the state will allow those deductions as well. Okay, so I think that's it. I know it sounds like a lot. Seems like I'm racing through this stuff. Well, we're going to have a list somewhere on the website, either on PROBY'S or LensDesk.com, for you guys to be able to download this checklist. Again, there's people who've been filing taxes for years, and they're always asking what they need to file their taxes. And not only that, your circumstance changes every year, right? One year you may not have any of these things that relates to this. You may just have one W-2. Another year you have 1099s or K-1s or, maybe new dependents. Every year your circumstances change. So it doesn't mean that because what you had last year will work for this year as far as your personal status. So make sure that all that stuff is updated, okay? And you said prioritize. Okay, what is it? Stay organized. Yes, stay organized. That's it. That's the key right there. As time goes on, every single month, you guys start ahead of time, and everything that comes in for your taxes, this stuff gets mailed into you somewhere around, say, February, or mid-January. All employers and everyone is obligated to get you all this information starting, say, mid-January, and they have to have it filed and get to you by the end of January. And so you can start compiling this data, like all of your income sources. A lot of times you can go online and pull on some of this stuff. So, so just get organized, have that checklist, and make sure everything is in there. Again, this is to save you money. This is to make sure you pay less taxes. This is to bring you back a larger refund. Right? Now, you don't have to deduct anything if you don't like. The government will love you for it, but that's not what we're here for, right? We're here to make sure you save money and put more money in your pocket so you can continue to build wealth, invest it, and make more money. All right? So that's it today for what I have to say. Cherie said, I need to file back taxes, call you to help me. Okay, yeah. If you need to file back taxes, I love that. So if you need to file back taxes, okay, you guys give us a call so we can help you with that as well. And don't worry about it. You get it as long as you get it filed, you're fine. A lot of people feel, like, okay, I haven't filed it, so why should I do it now? But that is not so. Eventually, you'll get a letter, and then now you have a deadline, and then now you have a catastrophe, or you wind up having taxes, substitute taxes get filed for you by the government. No deductions are taken there, and of course, your bill will be much higher, and then now we have to go into cleanup mode, right? Okay. All right. So, great, Cherise. Hey, how you doing? Sylvia, thanks for jumping in here. Sylvia Meher, thank you for jumping in. All right. Any other questions, guys? Put your questions or comments below. We'll come back through here and check them out. If I don't see them now, anybody over here in IG have any questions for us, we will be happy to answer those. You are truly a blessing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so glad to be able to help, guys. This is one of the reasons why I'm excited about relaying this information, because once again, information, knowing is the key. If you don't know, you can't very well function. And a lot of people lose a lot of money in taxes because they don't know to claim certain things and all the stuff that they need. And once again, this is one of the reasons why PROBY'S really strives to make sure that the client understands their tax situation. And at the end of the day, you know exactly what's going on and you know how to prepare to make it easier and better for you in the long run, right? So that's what we not only do the taxes, but we make sure that we teach you about your tax situation, okay? All right, so I think that's it. Any other questions over here for me? Love you, sis. All right, love you too. Can I still get money back? What is this one? She said, can I still get money back if I file back taxes? If I file late taxes? Is that what that is? If I file late taxes? If you file later, okay. If you file late taxes now, so the thing about it is, if you have a refund coming in, you can still get your money back if you file the taxes later. That's what I'm seeing here. But the thing about it is, if you got a refund, you can get the refund back. If you owe, your penalty is going to be surmounted because you will have a late filing penalty, a late paying penalty. You'll have all these penalties, and so that's what we're trying to avoid. But if you have a refund come in, I think which is what Sharice is asking, when you file back taxes, if you have a refund come in, you can get your money back. Once again, though, I know if this question is directed to that, there is a cutoff in getting refunds after a three-year period. However, this tax deadline don't apply to that. It would be the April 15th deadline. So the April 15th deadline would be the deadline for that 3-year back taxes, where you would not get a refund if you file those taxes late. All right, so if that's what that question is, file those taxes past 3 years, the April 15th deadline is it, not the October 15th deadline. You would have already missed that filing and you would have already missed that refund. A lot of people loses out on that. This again, we don't want to throw away this money. A lot of people loses out because, of course, they wind up filing these taxes late. They pass their 3-year mark. They can't get their refund anymore, and the government keeps it. But if you owe, you still have to pay. So why throw away that money, right? Let's see, can I still get my money back? Okay, I think that was a question. So so why throw away that money, guys? So the 3-year mark, if you don't file those taxes within 3 years, I think anybody that haven't filed their 17 taxes by April 15th, they would have lost the refund. And we don't want that to happen. All right, guys. So October 15th deadline. Make sure you mark that in the calendar. Get your information in. One last thing I want to leave with you. If you don't have all your information to get those taxes filed, make sure you file them anyway with the information you do have. We can go back and amend it and add information that you were missing. When you amend the return, it's still considered file on time, okay? You amend it, still considered file on time. So file it on time anyway if you're missing stuff. Okay, so there you have it. That's it for me today. I think that's all we have for this week. Next week, we'll be back on Tuesday with more information for your business, how to run your business, and make sure that you, stay current, stay on top, stay through this pandemic, post-pandemic era. Make sure that we, keep business afloat, keep money in our pocket, and so we can invest, get some passive income in our pocket here, guys. All right, so with that said, you guys put on your notification as you have. We appreciate that. Make sure you hit like and share on this video. Any further question, call PROBY'S Tax at 323-290-9034 or visit our website at probystax.com. We have a secure portal on the website for those of you who would like for PROBY'S to prepare your taxes. Go to our secure portal and on the website and upload your document to us. We are accepting tax documents. I think they told me what the date was, I believe up until the 7th or the 10th. I can't remember, up until the 10th, so we can ensure that you get them filed by October 15th. Okay, so go to our website and upload a document. I think LeBron have something here. She said, thank you, sis. You continue to keep us informed. All right, I appreciate that. It's my pleasure, and I'm always excited because I'm excited. Like I said, your success is our business. I'm happy when you guys are are succeeding in your personal and your business life. And so, you know, we all work together to make that work, right? And then it's one big happy family. So I'm excited about that. All right. So guys, go to our website, upload your stuff to our portal. If you have any questions, give us a call, get your information in, or wherever you get your taxes done, make sure the information is in there. And get your taxes filed by October 15th so you can plan ahead. We can have some planning and projection for the new year, right? That's what we're going to do. And Therese, I can't actually read what's over here, but I think there's a comment over here. I'll come back through here and see what that is. Okay, with that said, guys, I'm up out of here. Okay, so she says, I learned so much from you. Thank you. All right, I appreciate that. That's what this is for, guys. Learning is a key, right? Learning is a key. So I'm really excited about that. I'm honestly truly excited, and I'm glad that you guys are making use of this information. So hit like and share so that all your friends and family can use this information. I'm sure they'll be delighted as well. All right. And so with that said, guys, I will be up out of here. And you guys, I want you guys to have a wonderful rest of your Thursday afternoon. And you guys take care of each other and take care of yourself. See you later. Bye-bye.